La Immaculada back in the days, and it's good to be back in Orange Walk. I used to be here as well as the one of the officer commanding BDF way back in the days. So I thoroughly enjoyed my tour in Orange Walk. Um, Charming, I look for some tacos, but I never get none. This is the leg of our very, I should say, meaningful tour. And I won't go into a lot of details because um, we need to get back and the president has a lot to present. But I want to tell you that we started off in down in the south. We went to Dangrega, we went to Hopkins, we went to St. Vite, we went to Georgetown, we went to as far as Barranco, went to Punta Gorda. We met with several, uh, entities, including Battle of the Drum Secretariat. I'm sure the president will actually highlight you on that as well. But just to introduce ourselves behind the camera, let me start off with the cameraman. Um, he is our treasurer. He's Maurice Herrera. He's from Dangriga. And he's also the owner and founder of DYFA Radio, in case you guys haven't heard of DYFA Radio. That's the man right there. And the lady beside him to his left is our assistant secretary, but I dare to say she's the secretary. She does all our secretarial duties, and I'm sure the president will expound on the importance of the secretary. And the man in the middle, the man himself, the big chief, our president is Alex Norberto. He is well, most of you guys have PG roots, right? And Barranco roots. So like him, I also share the same Barranco roots and PG roots. He's a former, he's a major in the BDF as well, and he will actually tell you a lot more about himself later. I'm his vice president, the first vice president. Marsha is our second vice president. She's not here. I was made to understand she's gainfully employed somewhere else. Aoife is not feeling too well, so she's out. She's our he's Maurice's assistant treasurer, and am I missing somebody? Sheena. Sheena is our secretary, and Shari is her assistant secretary. And Sheena, she's just recovering from an illness, so she could not be here today. However, I just want to hand over now to the president to. I want you guys, sorry, before I hand over to the president, I want you guys to introduce yourselves to us. Um, Starting up with this young lady to my left.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Norma Young, and I'm the president for Orange Walk Branch. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Lorraine Alvarez, a member of NGC member as well. Thanks.
Faye Young. I'm the assistant secretary, I'm the treasurer for NGC Orange Walk.
Janelle Martinez. I'm a former president as well and a longtime member of NGC.
Emma Arjun, and I'm the treasurer of Orange Walk Branch.
All right. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. So we have got
And as I go through my presentation, the NGC is a very old organization, so it's attracted a whole lot of wanted and unwanted attention. So we'll talk about that a bit more. So on the board is the sequence Articles of Association, governs how NGC works, and this is how we'll talk about budgeting, fundraising, and the reporting. Essentially what we're trying to do is to standardize the way we do business at once. So bear with me as I flip through. Let me see if I could pull this up quick with the presentation. Good? Everybody could see that? Excellent. I have to give thanks to IFA for putting together the presentation. So I do have a very able-bodied executive team, and I want to really thank them for participating, for lending the support, because that's one of the things that we need as well. All you past presidents will know that it's a lot of work, right? And without the support, things will fall apart and fall apart rather quickly, right? So let's just build on the momentum. So essentially, that's what we will be talking about: the vision, the mission, very important things. I know that I will never even know that NGC have a mission or a vision, right? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the history, the structure, roles and responsibilities of the executive team at the branches and the national level. And we'll talk about other organizations that we work with. And then I'll take a few questions if there are any, if I don't answer them during the presentation. And if you have questions during the presentation, please ask. Make we interact. This will be an interactive session. We budget about 2 hours for this interaction, and so I think we can do it in 2 hours. So I read the vision as it is because it's very important that we understand it word for word. So the National Garifuna Council will be an integrated cultural group that preserves our heritage, history, language, food, clothing, and spirituality, or Garifuna Dwao in its totality from generation to generation in a sustainable manner in Belize and beyond. So they're not just about Belize, right? Remember, we are a people without borders type of thing. We have with people all the way in Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, in America, Australia. We're all over the place. And so we need to stay connected, not only for support, physical support, financial support, and otherwise, but they, definitely do on a whole. And so we also have to bring in the young people, because the only way we leapfrog through generations that if the generation coming up understands. And one thing that is clear that we will all agree on is that we're losing our culture or language, right? Or dance, food, everything. We become more American and more everything else other than Garifuna, right? So that is our vision. That is why NGC exists. And so if we don't have a vision, then we last, right? So everybody, every Garifuna person, and I keep saying this, that Garifuna is synonymous with NGC. For me, I believe that if you're a Garifuna person, you are a member of NGC. Now, we will talk about that some more. Whether you're a member in good standing, that is another question, but we'll get to that. But you are a member, and you're the Garifuna first. That's how I see it. So everything that you do, you have to think about your people. You have to think about our existence. If you remember the story, and I go off a bit here, we would not have been here if it wasn't for the efforts of our forefathers, our ancestors. Remember the whole story, how they put with a baliso, how they try to kill it off, and a few brave family members, and they said only two boat come, they left one day and they end up the Barranco. Well, that's one of the stuff. Right? So hence the reason why my roots are from Barranco. Right? But you have to embrace that struggle, that voyage, right? Because it's serious. If they did not have the spirit, the moral courage, to fight for their lives, we would not have been here as a people. So it started way back when. So their struggles can't be for nothing. So we are tasked with ensuring that this vision is maintained and it continues. And the young people after us have to understand this. You see, the next set of leaders are here. You see? And if you don't understand and embrace our vision and the mission will follow, then we will be lost and forever lost. All right? So that is important. So the mission then, the National Garifuna Council will advocate for this for and secure the rights, development, and culture of the Garifuna in Belize while promoting economic sustainability, interracial harmony, and maintaining traditional respects for the preservation of the environment. Interracial harmony is important. You see, this is not a closed organization. Let's be clear. Yes, it's for Garifuna. Then the question about who is Garifuna comes into sharp focus, right? Because we have all kind of conversations. I'm a very open person. For me, I know what's fierce. That's how we say it, WDs. If your heart tell you you're the Garifuna, then you're the Garifuna, right? Because how do we know define who is Garifuna? I got cousins who were white. They're the Garifuna. Who, we got Mayans who, the Garifuna. They live monks way. That is beliefs for you. We mix and we mingle. So let's look on the positive side of that. This is no secret. There is nothing, this is not large. There is nothing here to hide. Right? If you come positive and you want to contribute, then please come and contribute. Right? This are not large. Right? So for us to achieve these missions as outlined on the board, we have to come together. We fight at the same. There's only one race and it's a human race. Right? We need land. We need to go to school. Right? We need jobs. We need to protect the spaces, our cultural and traditional spaces, because that is what it means to be a Garifuna. Right? We need to be able to go to Key for catch fish when Dogo and Chogo and whatever. So these are things that are dear to us. Just like how the Mayans protect their spaces, we need to protect our spaces. I can't mix with them for what they do. We now need to take a page out of their book and figure out how we want to do free thing. That's what we need to do. Right? And if it is that they want help, or the mestizo they want help, because now we mix with our Rinjua. This is predominantly mestizo. We are a small group in a mestizo environment. Right? And we mix, so we've got Spanish, on the road, mestizo on the road, some are lighter than the others. So we mix. Belize is a blend. Look at our VP. Right? I show you mix, right? Right, see? Exactly. So, and he is dressed in his Garifuna outfit, and he's the VP in the organization. So who am I to tell him that he's not Garifuna? So, let us think about the positive of it, right? And make we get rid of all of the things that we're not the help with. These are just unnecessary baggage as far as I am concerned. Let us keep our eyes on the prize. Let's look at the mission and make we achieve the mission of the organization. And it takes all of us to understand this mission and for us to pursue the mission if we will be successful. Right? So that is where we should be. Now, as I mentioned earlier, NGC is our whole organization. 44 years old to be exact. Right? Founded way back when by a few founding members. We still have a few of them living, the Cayetanos in particular, Roy, Miss Phyllis, and Fabian. Right? Only 3 of them out of, I don't remember how much of them formed the organization, but back then they had a vision. They saw the need for the organization and they came together and they formed the organization. And so we lean on our founding fathers a lot for historical context, clearly for guidance and so on. So they're important. But also, we are now going to advance the organization. You see, we can't stay stagnant forever. Years pass, we see where things need to change, and that's why there's an exercise ongoing where we're reviewing the articles, the memo on articles, which is this document that we'll speak to, which governs NGC. So NGC has rules. In the articles of association speaks to how we should work. That document was generated way back when the organization was stood up. 44 years ago, right? We are a non-government organization and we are also a non-profit organization. So we don't got money, right? So let's be clear because people think we got a lot of money. The past presidents can tell you and the current president how we struggle for do things day to day. Forget our league gathering like this cost. People have to come from far. They have to prepare at least nuts. All I think costs money, right? But we don't have money, so we have to fundraise and we seek contribution for membership, whether in cash or in kind, so the organization continues to run. All right, so yes. Yes, it does, and each branch has its bank, should have their bank accounts. All right, so yes, we do, and so it is within that account that you do your transactions and you seek funding. All right, so hi, welcome. We're thinking about other ways to support or to morph the current structure so that it provides for other opportunities for us to fundraise, for example, and to attract additional funding. So that is a conversation, it's an ongoing conversation. But as I mentioned earlier, the organization will change a bit, because I think it's important that we're able to survive in this day and age, right? Compared to 44 years ago, right? So these are just some of the things that I bring to the table. Um, so we got 12 branches. We got 12 branches, right? As I mentioned, you all, the Orange Walk branch, you're here, and we're now being hosted by you all. Um, Ideally, for me, I would want to see the chairs, the place full. So I want to know where the government go people in there, right? And now if you know me full up with mestizo, we may upset, right? So these are the things that we need to look at because this is not a closed meeting. At least I don't think Norman will sell it as a closed meeting. We there to represent anybody who the Garifuna, as far as I am concerned. So when we have these conversations, the next time around, we want to see more people, right? We want to bring out all the people in. If they look Lee mestizo-ish, that's fine too. I mean, I got no quarrel. And and that's the thing. They are the ones who support us, right? They support us. So Ref could tell you, and I know all the presidents have similar stories, but the bulk of our support come from non-Garifuna people. Sad but true. So if you want to be honest, make we put it out the one time. And so, well,
No, just like you say, take my answer. Most of the time, in our area, since we are a minority here, then normally our supporters would be the mestizo people. So anytime NGC does something, they're always the first to say, okay, I will. The Garifuna people, apart from the NGC members, then they would come behind and be like, oh yeah, we'll try supporter. But mainly, it's the mestizos because they are the people for Orange Rock. We're just living in their community, which we are also a Garifuna community, right? Because of us. Yeah, so that's about it. So we wanted the meeting to be generally, but we never like really push it out, or we never like, we were catering for more Garifuna people. So that's why we don't have the mestizos, because if we did like put it out, then yes, you would have seen a lot of mestizo people in here.
and they can join. Listen, this is me, and I might get flagged for it, but I will say it now. If these shares are full of mestizos who want to be a part of NGC, well, I know they said they could join, but they are supporters. And NGC has its rules, right? We say, okay, you have to be a Garifuna. It's a Garifuna organization, but it doesn't say that mestizo people can support it. It doesn't say Chinese can support it. It doesn't say Mayans can support it. And we go to these people for support anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So it's about networking with these people, right? And getting the support, because without the support, we can't reach where we want to reach as a people.
I want to say something.
I think for me too is the education about it. I grew up in a Garifuna household. Both my mom and my dad were and are Garifuna. And now my dad, who remarried into a very Garifuna culture, he's in Georgetown now. It's now that time that I'm getting my kids involved, because I'll be honest, I don't speak Garifuna to my kids.
Okay.
And when I was growing up, it was established that we needed to speak Garifuna. And it's sad, like you said, when you mentioned that we're losing the culture. That kind of hit, because I'm not teaching my kids that. They're growing up in Orange Walk, they're learning the Spanish, they're learning the English, but I think it's that education. And that's why I chose to come today when I got that invitation, because back then it wasn't important to my parents. It was like, okay, Garifuna, that's it. But now it's important for me to bring it down to my kids,
Right.
for them to know that, hey, you're a Garifuna, you need to embrace that. So I think the education part of it, and once we become involved more, it will now start to trigger that into our kids as well, and it will get a lot more Garifuna people in here too.
Yeah.
But we have good news too. I'm sure the president will actually expound on it a bit later.
Yes.
When it comes to the language commission. So I'll leave it to the president so you can explain that.
Yeah. So you wanted to clarify a point, Maurice. Keep me straight and keep me out of trouble, Maurice. Thank you.
Of course, and that's why we have our media group together. I'm very pleased to be a part of that media group as well. It's inclusive. I try to use big words, but siya na digani. But how can I move around? People, and it's in an article, right? Bringing people together. We have to be together. We live in a society with many different cultures, and we want to put it out there that, hey, anyone that want to come and help, anyone that want to come and assist, just like and I say this on most of our tours, that when they need help too, we have to be there for them as well. I'm not familiar with Orange Walk, but if Orange Walk have an Orange Walk Day, or Orange Walk have a tacos, and I'm not famous for tacos, or if they have some kind of event, we have to be there. It doesn't have to be just Garifuna. We don't want to isolate ourselves from the people. So, and we could see it right now. They might feel that they're not invited. And we'll look what happened. Where our own people? So again, we got to re-educate our people. We got to familiarize ourselves with our people. We got to re-engage ourselves with our people, and that's how we come together. So for those who want to spell some mischief, and they're always the same people who spread the mischief, our own people. When we try to go, they want to bring it down. Our own people. So I message out there, look, if you no can join in, just watch how we move. Watch how go people move. It's just a few. And don't let those few poison my mind, because that's what they're out there for, to spew evil, to spew discrimination. This is about building a nation, building a Garifuna nation. It doesn't mean that we go out there and then try to belittle somebody else. Right? So, man, I'm so passionate about this, because I know the president and this new executive is about bringing people together. It's about development, and language, whatever, everything else that comes with it. But the empty chair, they will full up next year. But they have to. So this message will go loud and clear that we're here to work. The executive take the time out to be out here. I come and squeeze my wife right now. But are they right here? Right, so I'll leave it like that for now.
But these are the kind of effort that we need, and nobody can take away your Garifuna-ness. So if you mingle, what is important is that you understand and you pass it on to your children, because that is what makes us unique, right? And we've been failing, and we're the custodians of the language. We're the custodian of Garifuna Doro, period. And it is through us that will be brought forward, right? So we have to do what we have to do. So don't sit there and do nothing and then complain, right? Do your part. And that's why I am here. It requires sacrifice, but at the end of the day, I will be able to stand up and say, I did something, right? So I will take the criticism on my finger. Where they say when you point one finger, so how much point back at you? So no point finger if you know you do nothing. If you do so, then the finger they will do so, right? So there are 12 branches. Participate in your branch efforts, because the branches need the support. The executive team need the support to get the people out, to mobilize people, to share the news, and to do their own activities, because each branch is supposed to have their own activities. Each branch is supposed to have their own calendar of events. we are Garifuna year in and year out, not only for 19th. You see, so from January, you should be having events through to December, right? And we will talk about how you turn over your lead resources and so on. So the membership, and again, we bring in people, we co-op members for their special skills. So I got into the organization because I am a finance person, and they needed a finance person, and so they say, hey, join me, and I said, okay, no problem.